We begin in the year 873 AD in Norway, where during a feast honoring King Styborn of the Raven clan, a young Eivor Varen's daughter witnesses the sacking of her hometown by rogue warlord Kjotve the Cruel. Eivor's father, Varen, surrenders in exchange for the safety of his people, defying the Viking tradition of dying honorably in battle. Kjotve kills Varen before proceeding to massacre the town and his people anyway. Eivor is rescued by Sigurd, Styborn's son, but during their escape, she is thrown from his horse and mauled by a wolf, earning her the nickname Wolf-Kissed. 17 years later, Eivor has been adopted by Styborn and his clan, and relentlessly pursues Kjotve, seeking revenge for her father. Her latest attempt on his life fails, but she manages to recover her father's axe. Upon touching the axe, Eivor experiences a vision of Odin, leading her to consult the local seer, Valka. Valka induces another vision, this time of Sigurd losing an arm before being consumed by a giant wolf. Valka interprets this vision as a prophecy that Eivor will betray Sigurd, which she refuses to believe. While Styborn chastises Eivor for attacking Kjotve, which risks an open war he believes the clan cannot win, Sigurd returns from a 2-year raiding expedition, joined by a pair of mysterious foreigners, Bassam and Hytham. Sigurd presents Eivor with a hidden blade, a gift received from Bassam. The siblings defy Styborn's orders and attack Kjotve, retaking a village from his forces before being met by King Harald, who offers support in eliminating Kjotve. Bassam and Hytham explain to Eivor that they followed Sigurd to Norway to kill Kjotve, but agree to allow Eivor to perform the execution herself. With Harald's reinforcements, Sigurd leads an assault on Kjotve's stronghold, and Eivor kills Kjotve in combat. Following their victory, Harald announces his intention to unite all of Norway into a single kingdom under his rule. Styborn pledges fealty to Harald, giving control over his clan to him, which angers Sigurd, who had expected to inherit his father's crown and rule it himself. Sigurd and Eivor take their loyalists in the clan on an exodus to England to build their own kingdom, free of Harald's rule. The clan settles in an abandoned Viking camp in Mercia, naming it Ravensthorpe. To secure their position in the region, Eivor makes alliances with local Viking clans and Saxon kingdoms, putting her in contact with notable allies such as Ivar, Halfdan and Ubba Ragnarsson, Guthrum Jarl, and Ceolwulf of Mercia. Meanwhile, Hytham reveals that the Order of the Ancients, longtime enemies of his and Bassam's brotherhood, the Hidden Ones, are present in England, and enlists Eivor's help in eliminating their members in the cities of London, Jorvik, and Winchester. As Eivor systematically eliminates the members of the Order, she is aided by anonymous tips regarding them from a mysterious individual who signs their letters as a poor fellow soldier of Christ. As Eivor's visions continue, Valka gives her an elixir that transports her to Asgard and into the body of Odin, who is attempting to avert his own fated death at Ragnarok, the battle at the end of the world. After Loki defies Odin's laws against wolves and conceives a son, Fenrir, Odin travels to Jotunheim to retrieve a magical mead that will ensure their souls will live on and be reincarnated after Ragnarok. Upon returning to Asgard and binding Fenrir, Odin and the other Aesir, or Norse gods, including Thor, Tyr, and Freya, drink the mead and pass their souls to the sacred tree, Yggdrasil, but forbid Loki from partaking in the ritual as punishment. Layla Hassan, the member of the Assassin Brotherhood who is reliving Eivor's life and memories in the present time of 2020 through the Animus virtual reality simulation machine, realizes these visions are actually of the Isu, an advanced civilization that predated humanity during the ancient extinction-level event also known as the Great Catastrophe, and that, unknown to the other Aesir, Loki defied Odin and ensured his own survival as well. Sigurd and Bassam discover an Isu relic called the Saga Stone, and Sigurd comes to believe himself a god. However, he is captured by Folke, a fanatical member of the Order and servant to King Alfred of Wessex, as she believes Sigurd to be a reincarnation of an Isu. Eivor and Bassam track Folke to her stronghold and kill her, though not before she tortures Sigurd, removing his right arm in the process. Despite rescuing and returning Sigurd to the clan's home, he becomes increasingly withdrawn and disillusioned with Ravensthorpe. Convinced of his divinity and following his own visions, Sigurd returns to Norway with Eivor, and together they uncover a hidden Isu temple with an ancient supercomputer, Yggdrasil. Both Eivor and Sigurd connect themselves to Yggdrasil and are transported to Valhalla, the fabled Norse realm of afterlife for the bravest warriors who die in combat, where they can enjoy endless battles in paradise. However, after seeing her father among the warriors, Eivor realizes that Valhalla is merely a dream world simulation within Yggdrasil and attempts to break free from it. Odin, from Eivor's visions, refuses to let her leave, but she is able to defeat him and escape with Sigurd. Outside the simulation, they are confronted by Bassam, who reveals that he is the reincarnation of Loki, Eivor is the reincarnation of Odin, and Sigurd is the reincarnation of Tyr. An enraged Bassam attacks Eivor, seeking revenge for Odin's mistreatment of Fenrir, but with Sigurd's help, Eivor manages to trap Basim in Yggdrasil. Realizing the folly of his actions, Sigurd abdicates leadership of the Raven clan to Eivor, and chooses to follow her back to England. Once returned, Eivor and her allies join Guthrum's assault on Wessex. Despite heavy losses, the combined Dane-Saxon force defeats Alfred at the Battle of Chippenham, forcing him to flee. Eivor later tracks Alfred down, finding him living in exile as an anonymous commoner in the village of Athelney, and learns that not only is he the Grand Master of the Order of the Ancients, but also the poor fellow soldier of Christ who assisted her in hunting them down. Having inherited leadership from his brother and father before him, but disgusted by the Order's heresy against Christianity, Alfred wanted to destroy it from the inside. With this done, he plans to construct a new God-fearing order to take its place, and Eivor returns to Ravensthorpe to a hero's welcome. In the present time, the assassins deduce from Eivor's memories that the strengthening magnetic field, which is disrupting global satellite communications and adversely affecting the environment, is a result of Desmond Miles, a former assassin, and his activation of the Isu Towers in 2012 to protect Earth from a coronal mass ejection, or plasma and magnetic waves from the Sun, with the field growing gradually ever since. To return the field to its proper strength, Layla travels to the same hidden Isu temple Eivor and Sigurd discovered in Norway, bringing the Staff of Hermes, which has immense and rapid regenerative properties, to protect herself from the lethal radiation which has now been generated within it. Layla enters Yggdrasil's simulation and encounters Basim, who has been trapped there for over 1,000 years, since his encounter with Eivor and Sigurd. Basim reveals that he was the one who sent the message leading the present-day assassins to Eivor's remains, and instructs Layla on how to stabilize the magnetic field, which in turn releases him from Yggdrasil. Now trapped in the simulation, Layla encounters a being called the Reader, implied to be Desmond Miles, and together they work to prevent another seemingly inevitable extinction event. Upon release from Yggdrasil, Basim's body comes into contact with the Staff of Hermes, which he reveals contains the consciousness of his lover, Alethea, and he is fully regenerated to his original state before escaping the temple. He later meets with Sean Hastings and Rebecca Crane, the two assassins who were assisting Layla, and requests to meet William Miles, father of Desmond and a leader within the Assassin Brotherhood. After they leave him to arrange the meeting, Basim enters the Animus to track down his missing children.